I have been crushing my to-do list. Got groceries, paid bills, cleaned the floors, prepped lunches, and still managed to sneak in a quick workout.
Hey, honey, where did I put my keys?
That's what I love about Gretchen Whitmer. She keeps her priorities straight. School funding, bam. Protecting Joyce, she's on it.
Some people don't think she's perfect.
She's a mom with a job. That means she knows how to get stuff done.
Oh, thanks, honey.
In the great 1974 film The Godfather 2, there's a scene about halfway through where Hyman Roth and Michael Corleone and all the American gangsters are gathered on a patio in Havana, and it's Hyman Roth's 67th birthday, and he's giving a slice of the cake to each gangster. He's got Louis from Chicago, you run the Copacabana, Frankie, you get the prostitutes. He's dividing up the island among all the American gangsters, and appropriately enough, the birthday cake has the outline of Cuba on it, so he's giving him a slice of Cuba. And while Hyman Roth is doing this, he says, "Isn't it great to be in a country with a government that respects private enterprise?" And that's how media policies have been done in the United States for the past 50 years, and it's been increasing in the last 20 years. Extraordinarily powerful lobbyists duke it out behind closed doors for the biggest slice of the cake. The public knows nothing about it, it doesn't participate. And that's the problem we face.
It's a documentary on how Rupert Murdoch built Fox News and why.
Media is the nervous system of a democracy. If it's not functioning well, the democracy can't function. We're heading toward an election where most people are never going to be in a room with Kerry or Bush. What they learn about the candidates will be what the media shows them or tells them, decides not to show, not to tell.
People are faced with critical choices about the future of the country when they go into the voting booth. And I go in, and I have been, through the course of a campaign cycle, subject to false, distorted, caricature. And I may not even know where it's coming from because all of the effect off places like cable and like radio. And those wrong pieces of information are repeated and repeated. By the time it reaches me, I don't even know what the source was. This is the environment we're living in, and it's fundamentally undermining democracy, which is based on knowing some good and solid information so I can make an informed choice.
You see the properties Rupert Murdoch owns around the world, the strong conservative point of view that those properties often reflect. It's different than ABC or CBS or NBC. Sure, they reflect a point of view, but not nearly as strong and not nearly as consistently from one ideological perspective.
Murdoch actually bought the station in 1985 and actually left us alone for at least the first 3 years of it.
Well, I didn't even know that during freaking time that Edison or Einstein was alive, that freaking CBS was freaking around.
I'm having a day like that too. Be careful, okay? Lucky was still being locked. I love watching that. I just good. I'll go home. I'll be getting beat. I'll go home. Will you here today? Wednesday? Okay. Okay. I'll make sure that the baby will sit up and I'll have everything out of the way under the seat. We'll call there. I'll have everything out of the way. Oh, wow. Okay, I'll be here on Wednesday between noon and something. Well, yeah, Mama was supposed to send me a message. Hey. I love it. Come here. This is like I gotta show you while it's plugged in. Oh, it went away. Never mind. There it goes. It's got this little icon on there where the battery's full. It's a full beer mug.
Right out here in the left corner. It's the left corner. Underneath that. It's a full beer mug, man, like an old glass beer mug.
It's got the top on it too. It's like on the top part of the other thing, and not like on the holster where it's normally supposed to be.
Yeah. It's pretty neat.
So if you want to like have it in your hand, you gotta be like.
Used to have it had a wet my screen. The first thing that popped up would be the weather. You know, just the temperature, and it was I could have it at any 3 different locations. So it was at work, home, and grandma's house. But that'd be the first thing I would see when I turned the thing on. If it was raining, there'd be rain going across the screen. If it was foggy, there'd be fog going across the screen. Sunshine, it'd be really bright. You know? It was cool. Okay, so we know when the
ownership,
coming.
partly because we were so successful and prosperous that there was no reason to monkey with us.
At WTTG, our success insulated us to a certain degree.
And it was kind of like being in an office and seeing people come down with the flu around you. We knew the flu eventually might reach us, but we were hoping if we took enough vitamins that we'd never catch the flu.
It was clear during those years that Murdoch, who had absolutely adored Ronald Reagan, adored him, had a lot of admiration for the group of Republicans that controlled Congress and certainly on Capitol Hill.
We received an order from one of Murdoch's apparatchiks, if you will, that we should cut away from our newscast and start carrying a fawning tribute to Ronald Reagan that was airing at the Republican convention. We were stunned because up until that point we were allowed to do legitimate news, and suddenly we were ordered from the top to carry propaganda, carry Republican right-wing propaganda.
There was a cultural underpinning to what Murdoch wanted. Race issues, AIDS. I constantly remember complaints that there was too much being done on AIDS. He also couldn't stand the Kennedys.
Ted Kennedy was a longtime opponent of Rupert Murdoch. And one celebrated occasion, we were ordered to run a long, uncut piece from a current affair that was rehashing the whole matter of Chappaquiddick. It had zero news value. We were told you had to run this thing uncut. You could not even edit it down and just run a snippet of it. I think they evolved in later years, especially after Roger Ailes took over and really got the Fox News Channel up and running, into a far more sophisticated kind of operation. What we saw in my era was really the birth of this sort of thing and the roots of what came later.
I'd just like to say how delighted I am that we've now reached this moment when we can firmly announce the starting of a Fox News Channel and a much greater effort on the build-up of Fox News in every area.
We'd like to be premier journalists. We'd like to restore objectivity where we find it lacking, and certainly there could be that interpretation because of my background, but I left politics a number of years ago and have run a news organization for the last 2 years. So we just expect to do fine, balanced journalism.
Just give me something I can use. People love it when you lose. Give me dirty laundry.
I was unemployed for 3 years. I worked in the news.
On air or behind the camera?
I'm gonna hit you with so for that.
I think I'd rather
that material never materialized as even.
Yeah, I've heard directly from folks, both as
I like the song, but it's not an English song.
Who've expressed very great reservations, almost as if they're being monitored by a Stalinist system, afraid to be seen talking to the wrong person, or having the wrong kind of email exchange.
You're either one of us or one of them. And in leaving Fox News, for example, there were a number of people at the organization, the head of the organization, tried to ruin my career simply because I was leaving, because I didn't leave on their terms, because I refused to sign a confidentiality agreement. That was another reason for them to try to keep me from getting my next job.
It's very much an environment of fear.
It was made very clear to us that our activities were being monitored, and if someone wasn't watching it live, they were at least recording it, and they would review it after the fact to see what we did.
We weren't necessarily, as it was told to us, a news gathering organization so much as we were a proponent of a point of view.
Fox has already been successful in sort of branding me as somebody who can't be trusted, and as a result, I'm already sort of on thin ice regarding my current employer.
I've been warned. There were a number of people who pulled me aside and said, look, you know, I don't know. I mean, I know that you want to work, and I know that you need a job, but you might want to think twice about taking this job. It's really, it is a very conservative news network.
Now that I've learned comedy writing at Fox News Channel, I guess I should be doing stand-up in the clubs.
Kind of hot.
With the hierarchy, well, you know, they can challenge them on their attitudes about things.
I suspect you'll be discovered that Miranda, that had written by John Morgan and by Roger, in terms of setting the tone for the message of the day is a very political device.
Then spend a good deal of time on the battle over judicial nominations, which the president will address this morning.
Copy of Attorney Clarkson. 5/2003 from London. Let's spend a good deal of time on the battle over judicial nominations, which the president will address this morning. Nominees who both sides admit are qualified are being held up because of their possible, not demonstrated, views on one issue: abortion. This should be a trademark issue for Fox News Corporation today and in the days to come. Propaganda. That's all it is anymore. It's a propaganda channel.
Are being held up because of their possible, not demonstrated, views on one issue: abortion. This should be a trademark issue for FNC today.
I mean, I trust local Fox News, but they're other shit is media. So is CNN. The so-called 9/11 Commission has already been discussing but this is not what did you know and when did you know it stuff. Don't turn this into Watergate. So they're not allowed to report anything bad against the current first risk president. So they're not supposed to air anything on what to do now and what to do shit actually right at the turn in office. The first thing he got was a memo sitting right on his desk that says that it was from Bill Clinton left it there. It was from Security Intelligence, and it said that Al-Qaeda plans an attack within the United States to be carried out by 2011. Anti-terrorist squad there.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Coming. You do that.
Target
Careful for the fuzzy buzzy
Yeah, my
jammies.
little fuzzy.
Sure he's sick. Jesus Christ.
Ship is under attack.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Target's
Yeah,
shield
and
has
there's
failed.
everything, and we have a lot of Davis that must be death threat. That was good.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shield has failed.
Yeah. Is it 160? Yeah. Thanks, man. I've already had my grog this morning, man. I take this shit and I put it in my
Dude, ain't that shit amazing?
coffee. Man, I'm normally not able to move as good as I am. You see me walking.
Right.
Today I'm sitting there thinking, not the energy. And the place, yeah, set. I did a couple of weeks, a chair, set up here. I actually have another computer with red screens. And I have another one up front. That right there, that cabinet, that's full of vinyl. Right there, that's my A to G. That's a Del box there. This here is everything the Aerosmith released in the 70s. Grand Funk, that's everything the band ever released before the reunions.
The whole collection?
Before the reunions and the reunions. All right.
Oh, you should
Here
have a
and right here.
Yes, he does.
Everything's at, man. Everything is. It's
I miss when they used to come out with dual discs like that. When they had where it wasn't floppy round,
Yeah.
one side.
Yeah. I got it starts here from like numbers. You know what I mean? Like there's 707 but it goes from A to Z, and then every band is organized right here. Like Box Seven's first album is here, and Box Seven's last album is right here.
You know, when you sing with the Eagles, it's here from Michigan.
Yeah, Brent Rock. Yeah, he actually uncredited sings background vocals on Seeger's early version of Ramblin' Gamblin' Man.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he sang background vocals and played
That's
some
something I didn't
keyboards on Seeger's first album.
Seeger too.
Seeger is huge
He's actually Brent Bryce. He was actually Brent Bryce. The last album he released was called I Need You When. It's got a picture of from the and that's when he met Brent Bryce. And the album's all about this.
I heard nothing but good shit about Seeger. Everybody that I've ever seen or knew that crossed paths with him. Like,
He's a good guy.
Never a dick to people.
He was a good guy to me.
Was he?
Yeah, he yelled at me.
My brother used to pull his trash and shit. So in the summertime, we put a drink out by the road so that way the guys could at least get something to drink while they were there.
Yeah.
Or, in the wintertime, they pulled that big money neighborhood out there in Brooklyn. And all the owners of the homes would take fucking Christmas bonuses. They would take Christmas bonuses underneath the lids of the cans for the trash. And my brother was $1,000 out. I was like, hey, you better be glad I want no dirty ass thing, because I was out there cooking the can lids before you hit the house.
Yeah, no shit.
That's it. You know, that set somebody up for Christmas.
We were recording our first album. Psychosis was the first album, and we was at the Soundscape Studios. Seeger was on the other side of the studio.
Right on.
And we're mixing this heavy metal album, and we're mixing at about 80 decibels because we wanted it to sound good, and they
right.
just, you know, and it gets quiet, and as soon as it's back, and you don't know if the Seeger's got his head in the door like this.
A lot of business work and shit with him. And he's come in and was real nice and down with everybody. And he was always treating my brother and them good. So I've never heard anything like really bad, even controversial wise with him throughout his career that would stem him or make somebody believe that he was like some kind of turd or something. You know?
Yeah. The only thing I've ever heard bad about him, really bad, musicians that worked with him, it's that he's real past master.
Warning, ship is under attack.
I like doing it.
I'd be like, okay, yeah, let's go back to the
I like doing it.
Target shields have failed.
Yeah. He's sleeping off his fish. He wakes up and he's... Thanks for delivering that.
I'm Jeff, by the way.
That's my son, David.
Nice to meet you. I heard about you.
He actually did something that I was never today.
Yeah, the case was shit too.
They don't want no opinion.
It was a fucking home invasion case, and the guy was pretty much all the people that were the witnesses didn't sound pretty great on their fucking testimonies, and Even the detective and the freaking officer didn't have a good, stupid story too. So we just said he was innocent and let the fucker go.
They were trying to whammy him anyway. You know what? Honestly, in all honesty, he'll set himself sooner or later. But when I see shit like that, bro, when I see things like that, so I don't agree with what you're doing with this. It doesn't matter, but I don't care if a person is doing I know what it's like. I know that you have to be down and that's it. So, in hindsight, what you guys did was more of the money, gave you the benefit of the doubt, gave them the process, basically process. This is the way the court system is supposed to work. It ain't always the bad guy always gets fucked or the good guy always gets off. Sometimes the good guy gets fucked and the bad guy gets off. But if you don't have that type of democracy, that type of setup for the court system, then this shit, people start running rampant and have no dickheads like that, knocking down everybody. So, you got that in the court system, you got to check. You know, that's what it's for. It ain't about somebody, you know, obviously you got to stop bringing it down. Improvement, did exactly what they wanted to do. That's the highest form of volunteer work you can do as a paid duty.
I'm sorry. It's not like that. Go for the cat that have no complications. So,
Oh, yeah, you obviously disregard like that. I still that's it, man. That's it. I don't agree with you. No matter how you look at it. No, I was the one that I see something I walked doors to the home and said, you might want to fucking stay on the road. You know what I mean? Be glad it was me and not a fucking cop.
Yeah,
you know, right there. Because if you're that bad, so basically running on autopilot. No, I did. I had I'm not even gonna lie. I have I'm so glad I did the way that I
below 75%.
Okie dokie. Oh, it's not written on it. Shit. I just start this over here now. I forget what the fuck I'm at. What's this? Yeah, see, Jack was on his way.
Yeah, we already know, Mama. Thanks for the warning.
Security team, report to Oak Bay 6.
Stupid.
So-called 9/11 Commission has already been meeting. This is not what did he know and when did he know it stuff. Do not turn this into Watergate.
Every morning, there was a detailed list of top subjects to talk about and not talk about.
Kerry's speech on the economy at Georgetown is likely to move into the topic of Iraq. We should take the beginning of the Kerry speech and see if other news at the time is more compelling. It is not required to take it start to finish.
They were just actually issuing edicts to the reporters to control what they could say and how they could say it.
Mm-hmm. Let's refer to the U.S. Marines we see in the foreground as sharpshooters, not snipers, which carries a negative connotation.
When headquarters sent a memo every morning and said, we want to touch on the following issues, we want to cover the following stories, we want to do them in this particular way, our job and our objective then was to execute the plan.
The pictures from Abu Ghraib prison are disturbing. Today we have a picture aired on Al Arabiya of an American hostage being held with a scarf over his eyes, clearly against his will. Who's outraged on his behalf?
The real revolutionary breakthrough of Fox it's eliminated journalism. And that's the thing to understand. What Fox News Channel has done is it's stripped out any notion of journalism as we've traditionally understood it from its product. There is no journalism at the Fox News Channel.
Why? Listen, got his mic. Listen, Chad, stop. Chad, you're the test that you're an honest individual.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I know we're in some controversial stuff here, but my religion didn't teach me that. But thank you very much for being here.
It's a right-wing network, and you don't want to hear this stuff.
You want to do it. Not about the kids. It's about you, Jamie. Let's go. Okay. Thank you, Jamie.
Yes.
Good night. Thank you, Jamie. Thanks.
We'll take a cheap little pathetic shot. I'm telling you that's
You're taking cheap little pathetic shots.
I'm giving his record.
Tell you what the truth is. No, you're misrepresenting his record.
I'm telling the truth, sir. That's the truth about his record.
I understand what your position is not correct.
I'd like to hear one single on satellite radio because you can't get on regular radio. Paul Evans, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Bill, if you are so concerned about public figures being bad role models for children, please stop rudely interrupting your guests and telling them to shut up. Well, a shut-up line has happened only once in 6 years, Miss Evans.
Well, I think that asking a student to stay in the closet in order to go to school is a lot about being an African-American student.
You know what I was doing? Shut up. Respect. Why did you have to tell him you were an atheist if you didn't have any trouble reading the oath? Why didn't you just shut up? What Jimmy Carter should do is privately give Mr. Bush's opinion and shut up publicly. That would be best for the country. And it is our duty as loyal Americans to shut up once the fighting begins. Once the war against Saddam begins, we expect every American to support our military, and if they can't do that, to shut up. All he's got in 6.5 years is that I misspoke, that I labeled a polka war to Peabody. He writes it in his book. He tries to make me out to be
No,
hey,
that's
shut up. No, you had your 35 minutes. Shut up.
The techniques of odd polling and odd graphics of Democrats and weird banners in the lower third of your screen. These are all pretty sophisticated techniques, and they work in collaboration with the most genius marketing slogan in history, which is fair and balanced.
So if you're the graphics department and you could put up a liberal flip-flopper as the Chiron, hey, that's great, because the next time the graphics department has a discussion with management will say, yeah, you guys have been doing a great job.
Graphics are always moving in the background. They've sort of pioneered the use of the American flag as an icon of your news broadcast.
So there's a lot of stuff that people come up with on their own, which in other news organizations you never think of coming up with some of the stuff, much less even putting it on the air. But at Fox News, there's sort of you're rewarded for pushing the envelope, and if you're pushing the envelope against a Democrat and in support of a Republican, that's great. The problem comes if you try to push the envelope, or God forbid, should put in some sort of similar sort of style or approach to Republican, then you get yourself in trouble.
Probably 1999, I created the Fox News Alert. We were striving to accomplish a sense of urgency. Urgency in the sense that what was about to be delivered after the Fox News Alert was very important. Quote-unquote shocking news, specifically Columbine, and all the other important news stories at that time. But now, looking back, now that I'm not there, I find it interesting that I've seen the Fox News Alert used for stories like Bennifer, J-Lo and Ben's relationship. I mean, this compared to a school shooting, and there's really no relationship to me. And I don't understand why, based on what we originally created it for, why they would choose to use it for a story like that. Because the sound and the visuals associated, or originally was associated with things that were much more important.
And this is a Fox News Alert, a very busy day for Martha Stewart. Earlier today, she met with her parole officer.
They deliberately blur it, and I find it very hard to, there's no separation between Bill O'Reilly, the interviewer, and Bill O'Reilly with his talking points. I mean, there's just no separation at all.
Jimmy Carter is making yet another mistake, and this time, there's no excuse for it. And that's the memo. Now for the top story tonight, another view on this.
It's very hard on Fox News to separate news from commentary because it all blends together. That's what makes it so ridiculous, that slogan, we report, you decide, because there's no TV news channel in history that's ever reported less.
For example, a Brit Hume newscast, which is presented as a newscast, I think you see a lot of attitude and opinion, both from the anchor and from the reports.
Welcome to Washington. I'm Brit Hume. There was further evidence today that President Bush's days of absorbing John Kerry's attacks without counterattack are over.
Fox blurs the line between news and commentary all over the place. We are to believe that Brit Hume is the anchor of a news outlet. He doesn't bring strong politics to it. He just happens to anchor the newscast like Peter Jennings. On Sundays, Brit Hume turns into a rather caustic right-wing pundit.
Look, this goes to Murdoch, too. He doesn't believe in objectivity. He doesn't believe, he has contempt for journalism, I think. I mean, he wanted all news to be a matter of opinion, because opinion can't be proven false. And I think that's very dangerous, because if people don't have a set of facts that they can agree on, I think it's difficult to reach a consensus on, what's correct public policy.
He wanna go strut and strut you like
Get in on the action with Prize Picks. Simply pick 2 or more players to win up to 10 times your money. How do you feel? 10 times my money? Join over 1 million people who found a better way to play. Prize Picks is available in your state. Download the app today and get your first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily chances to make you.
Like sometimes, man. You don't mind.
Fuck that goddamn mic.
Huh?
Fuck that damn mic. Fuck my mic.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Come on, bitch.
I'm making such quick cash doing this side hustle. I'm a dasher. Signing up was so easy.